Good afternoon, everyone. This is Zach Siegel, and I'm going to be the moderator for today's presentation, and we're excited to have all of you join us. We have a great group of people presenting this afternoon who will discuss topics ranging from our package programs to risk management, claims, and also to discuss some of the trends we're seeing in the marketplace. If you have any questions you would like to ask, please feel free to send them during the presentation. If we do not get to all the questions, we'll be reaching out to you individually. I would like to thank everyone for participating in today's webinar. Our first presenter today is Patti Bonnell. Patti has worked in the insurance industry for over 30 years and has been with ISA for 28. As the Executive Director of Underwriting for the Berkshire Hathaway Specialty Insurance Division, Patti oversees the overall performance of the underwriting department and is responsible for premium growth, retention, and profitability. Good afternoon, Patti.
Thanks, Zach. Good afternoon and good morning, depending on where you're joining us from. I wanted to start out with just some quick background information on the Irwin Siegel Agency. We continue to be the industry leader for social and human service providers. We have a very talented group of underwriters who on average have at least 20 years of underwriting experience. Our program is exclusive. It's also backed by the strength of an A++ rated carrier, Berkshire Hathaway Specialty Insurance. We primarily write on admitted paper, but we also have the option to offer non-admitted. We have an in-house risk management team that has industry experience, as well as a dedicated claims unit. Both our risk management and our claims units work closely with our underwriting team. So for our key coverage lines, we have a commercial package policy. That includes property, inland marine, crime, general liability, professional liability, sexual abuse and molestation. Our GL, PL, and abuse coverage are not shared limits. They each have their own separate dedicated limits of liability. We also include the commercial automobile as well as the umbrella. So what we love to write, this is not a full list, it's just highlights that I picked out of the programs that we see the most. This includes chapters of the ARC, cerebral palsy or UCP programs, autism services, day programs, early intervention, residential care facilities, including supported living, care coordination organizations, companion services, job placement and job coaching, support groups, vocational training programs, and that also includes sheltered workshop programs. We also write community action agencies, crisis intervention centers and hotlines, emergency and temporary shelters, battered women's shelters, domestic violence agencies, job counseling and job training centers, service league, outreach programs, adult daycare centers for seniors, councils on aging. I do want to just mention a few classes of business that are not eligible. That includes elderly assisted living and adoption and foster care, unless the foster care is for the developmentally disabled. We see a lot of that. So what we're hearing more and more about disruptions in this marketplace, it includes carriers exiting due to the class of business, decreased umbrella limits, sub-limit under the umbrella for abuse and professional. And this can be a huge concern because some insureds are contractually required to carry higher limits. Increased premiums, I've seen premium increases coming in 10 to 15% of what the renewal premiums are. Non-renewal of for-profit entities and decreased capacity for coastal properties or areas of high hail exposure. So what can the Irwin Siegel Agency do for you? We do not have production requirements or capacity issues, no restrictions on for-profit business, higher limits of umbrella are available, ability to include abuse and professional in the umbrella, ability to write in coastal areas or area of high hail exposure. So we have wind terms in all states, and we also have wind deductible buyback options available for our insureds. We also have the industry knowledge and the expertise that allows us to quote risks with more complex exposures and risks that have higher than average claim activity. And because we offer a proactive approach towards risk management, This allows us to tailor a risk management plan that fits our insured's needs. So thank you, and I look forward to working with all of you very soon.
Thanks, Patty. We actually had a question come in. I have a risk where the property is placed outside of the package coverage. Can you write without the property, or do you need to write a full package policy?
That's a good question. So we can write without the property, but I do still like to provide a quote that includes the property, because we do have filed enhancement coverages that really benefit the risks that we insure, but it's not a requirement that we write the property to write the other lines.
All right, great. Thanks, Patty. Next up, Michelle Irwin. Michelle is the Executive Director of Underwriting for the Chubb Division. Michelle's been with Irwin Siegel Agency since 1995 and now oversees a team of underwriters and underwriter technicians who administer ISA's Behavioral Healthcare and Addiction Treatment Package program. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Zach. Here at Irwin Siegel, we offer a custom property and casualty insurance program for behavioral health and addiction treatment providers, written only through independent agents and brokers. We provide personalized risk management and resources, as well as specialized claims handling. This segment is written with Chubb, which is an A++ rated carrier. It's an exclusive program accessed only through ISA. In most cases, we use admitted paper. We offer package solutions encompassing all lines of coverage, and we have no capacity issues in terms of professional liability, abuse, or umbrella. We write both nonprofit and for-profit risks. This slide is going to show some of the eligible risks. Some include addiction treatment and substance use facilities, both inpatient and outpatient. We've recently seen some carriers exiting the for-profit addiction treatment space, as well as behavioral health in general. We truly understand the challenges these organizations are facing. Some of our other eligible risks are detox centers up to level 3.7, telemedicine, counseling and crisis intervention, and emergency shelters for those with behavioral health issues. Some of our ineligible risks include sexual offender programs, troubled youth programs for violent offenders, early release prison programs, facilities licensed as hospitals. While these do not fit into our program, we do have an outlet through our partner carrier to provide coverage for psychiatric hospitals. And we have a limited appetite for adoption and therapeutic foster care. It typically must be less than 20% of the population. Some of our coverage and highlights include under the property, we have replacement cost, and we can provide agreed amount. Our blanket limit includes building and contents, one combined limit. Business income and extra expense with options for blanket and agreed amount. We have emergency evacuation expense coverage. We offer wind terms in all states except Florida. And as Patti previously mentioned, we have the ability for a wind buyback option. For general liability, professional, and abuse, we offer both occurrence and claims-made forms. Under professional liability, we offer separate dedicated limits with defense outside the limits. Our form provides vicarious liability for professional incidents of your physicians. We can include employed psychiatrists in all states except Michigan, New York, Ohio, and Wisconsin. We do have other carriers for this coverage if needed. We also have carriers that can write doctors other than psychiatrists. Coverage is provided for independent contractors, and we do not attach a communicable disease exclusion under the professional liability. Under our sexual and physical abuse coverage, We provide separate dedicated limits with defense inside the limits. Coverage applies for client-to-client abuse, employee-to-client, and third-party to client. The professional and abuse additional limits are provided in the underlying limits rather than in the umbrella. We do have the ability to offer casualty deductibles, which is helpful for distressed accounts. And our umbrella capacity is up to 10 million in certain cases. Our submission requirements for established businesses are supplemental program applications. We will accept other carriers' supplemental applications to quote and bind coverage. We need the Accord applications, 5 years currently valued loss runs, and audited financials if it's a for-profit risk. For startup and new entities, we require a business plan, a pro forma statement, resume of the owner or senior management, and a website or a brochure.
Thanks, Michelle. Something came in actually towards you. So, can we write sober living facilities?
So standalone sober living is ineligible, but if they are connected to an account providing other programs and services, with sober living being the lesser of the exposure, we can write those.
All right. Great. Thank you, Michelle. Next up, Rich Gagn. Rich has been with Irwin Siegel Agency since 2004 and has started as a rater in the Policy Administration Department and quickly joined the Specialty Lines Division. Rich is now the Director of Specialty Lines, where he leads the day-to-day operation of the unit responsible for management liability, cyber, active assailant, non-emergency medical transportation, and any other specialty coverages needed to assist the ISA package team. Do your thing, Rich.
Thanks, Zach. I'm here to go over a few of the products that we offer in the Specialty Lines unit. While these coverages are intended to support our package accounts, they are not exclusive and can be written on a monoline basis with no production minimum. The coverages that we will review today include management liability, cyber liability, and active assailant coverage. Our management liability product typically includes directors and officers liability, employment practices liability, and fiduciary liability. Directors and officers liability protects board members and executives in the event that a charge is brought against them alleging a breach of duty. Without this coverage, board members and executives could be risking their own personal assets for their role in managing the organization. Employment practices liability provides coverage for allegations such as wrongful termination, sexual harassment, and discrimination. These types of claims are most common during the hiring process or termination process. Due to the large number of layoffs and rehiring processes caused by COVID-19, it's very likely that the number of EPL claims will continue to increase. Fiduciary liability provides coverage for errors and omissions while managing the insured's pension plans, such as 403Bs or 401Ks. Some coverage highlights of our management liability program include coverage for claims brought against individuals and the company. Third-party EPLI coverage is included. This provides coverage for claims brought by someone that is not an employee or applicant for employment. So if a customer or client were to bring a sexual harassment or discrimination claim against the insured, our policy would still respond. Coverage is provided for outside directorship. This means if an individual is asked by the insured to sit on the board for another organization, that individual would have coverage under our policy while serving on the board of that outside organization. We can offer separate limits for each coverage section. This would provide independent limits for each line. So for example, if you had an EPL claim, it would not reduce the available limits for D&O or fiduciary. Defense costs are available outside the limit of liability. Oftentimes, defense costs are a substantial amount of the loss, And with defense outside, the limit is not reduced by the costs to defend a claim. Our policies also offer full prior X coverage. This reduces the need to purchase a tail in the event that coverage is moved from one carrier to another. Cyber liability is becoming increasingly more important as organizations are relying on technology to operate. Cyber criminals are constantly looking for ways to access your systems, data, and private information to turn a profit. Our cyber product is a great way for insureds to protect themselves from the financial impact of a cyber attack. Typically, we offer 1 million limits with a 250,000 sublimit for cyber crime. However, higher or lower limits are available upon request. Some highlights of our coverage include our 24/7 incident response. In the event of cyberclaim, timely incident response can have a drastic effect on the damage caused by an event. This response team is always available to help prevent damage and navigate the next steps of dealing with the incident. Notification costs. If a network breach caused private information to be exposed, our policy will pay the costs to notify each individual that may have had information compromised. Cybercrime. This provides coverage for electronic theft of funds, as well as the loss of funds that occur when a cyber criminal tricks an employee into sending funds to a fraudulent account. These social engineering attacks are very common. Often, the cyber criminal impersonates an executive who asks that payment be made right away. System damage. If an attack damages data or software, our policy will respond to recreate the data and replace the software. Our policy will also replace hardware if it's the most cost-effective solution. Business interruption. If a cyber event causes an interruption of business operations, our policy will reimburse the income loss and extra expense as a direct result of computer systems downtime. Network security and privacy liability. This coverage will pay all sums the insured is obligated to pay due to a cyber event that causes damage to a third party's computer systems, the release of private information, and the failure to prevent such an event from happening. A key difference that separates our program from others is that we offer refreshing limits on each and every claim for notification costs, cybercrime, system damage, and business interruption. With this being the case, each time the insured has one of these claims, they would have a fresh new limit. Our active assailant coverage provides another layer of protection in the event of an attack, such as an active shooter. This coverage would provide primary limits in the time of need. Additionally, this coverage could prevent an attack from having a large impact on the package loss ratio and associated renewal rate. Coverage includes general liability, property, business interruption, and AD&D related to an active assailant attack. The business interruption coverage included on this product allows claims to be made without property damage. This is important as it provides coverage if the insured needs to suspend operations due to a threat or hoax. Coverage is provided for evacuation costs, including travel expenses and the additional cost of food and accommodations. Expenses to increase security after an event are included as part of this policy. Active assailant response training is offered at no additional cost. Knowing how to respond to this type of event can save lives and help minimize the impact of such an event. When quoting this coverage, we include 3 limit options so the insured can determine the limits and costs that make the most sense for their situation. This concludes my portion of this discussion. I hope to work with you all in the near future. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich. I have a question came into you. What is the average premium for the active assailant program?
That's a good question. We do offer 3 different options. So the best option, the Premier, has a full 1 million limit for GL, and that average is about $6,000. The silver option would offer a 500,000 limit for GL, and that averages 4,000. And we offer a light option, which does not include GL coverage, and that averages about 1,500.
Great. Thank you, Rich. Next up is Christine Massen. Christine has been in the risk management field for 10 years. As the director of ISA's risk management division, she provides the day-to-day oversight for the loss control coordinators and participates in a variety of consultative services across all lines of coverage. She most recently gained her certification as a Presidium Guardian, which allows her to further support organizations with a more in-depth knowledge and expertise to assess sexual abuse and molestation exposures and assist clients in managing the risk in these industries. Welcome, Christine.
Thank you. Philosophy and approach. Irwin Siegel Agency believes in taking a proactive approach to supporting loss control and quality improvement efforts. Our risk management department works with each of our insureds to develop a loss control plan that fits the unique needs of the organization. All of our departmental staff have worked in the human service field in the past, so we can approach our insureds with an understanding of the obstacles and challenges that organizations are often faced with. Our approach to loss control involves understanding the organization and identifying what their needs are. Our consultants and service partners have in-depth knowledge and expertise in the social service industry that we utilize to fit the needs of our insureds. We engage with insureds through their local brokers and keep them involved during the entire loss control process. Service offerings. Depending on what service needs the insured has, we have a variety of loss control resources available. Our network of consultants are able to provide on-site and remote trainings and presentations, as well as specialized consultations and assessments. We offer property walkthroughs, which include a review of life safety exposures, and we also help with creating or even revamping organizational policies and procedures. Insured contacts can be signed up to receive our monthly Siegel Second email blast, which include our in-house resource materials, as well as links to important information, including seasonal, trending, and various safety-related topics. We also include invitations to any upcoming webinars that we host throughout the year. In addition, we have a great risk management website, which is free to all of our insureds. This website houses all of our flyers and booklets on various safety topics, as well as information on our safety DVD library on online trainings. We also house all of our past webinars on this site. The site is user-friendly, and insureds can look up information by the type of coverage, the type of training, or they can even look up information by entering keywords in our search bar. The site is only for resources and services, and anyone within the organization can sign up and use the site. Reputable service partners. We also partner with a host of different vendors to provide additional support for organizations. Shield screening. We utilize Shield screening for background check services. Presidium. We partner with Presidium, who specializes solely in abuse risk management. Most recently, several of our risk management team have undergone a specialized training with Presidium to become certified guardians. As guardians, we can support organizations within the human and social service industries with more in-depth knowledge and expertise to assess sexual abuse and molestation exposures and assist clients in managing the risk in these industries. Talentel. Talentel provides a screening tool for direct support workers. This screening tool is utilized to assist HR in reducing turnover rates. HSI. We utilize HSI, the Health and Safety Institute, for online training. This is a learning management system platform that offers an extensive library on safety, ergonomic, and compliance trainings. Administrators of the site can set requirements for trainings, send out training info, and track all courses assigned to staff. Health risk screening. We have most recently partnered with Health Risk Screening to provide insured organizations with exclusively produced training entitled The Fatal Five. This training series focuses on the care of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The courses are designed to help increase the competence of staff in the areas of the Fatal Five and associated health risks to reduce adverse outcomes related to these health issues. All of our partner services are offered as a part of your policy or at a discount for being insured through the Irwin Siegel Agency. However, We are also able to offer our risk management services for individual purchase for organizations who are not currently insured with us. Unfortunately, Denise had a last-minute medical appointment, not COVID related, so I will be stepping in to handle the claims section as well. First, I'd like to say that claims are why we sell insurance. We work diligently with the insured and the broker to ensure that first-party claims are resolved expeditiously, while we are aggressive in protecting our insureds against frivolous third-party claims. ISA claims process. We have worked with our carriers to come up with a reporting process that makes it easier to get the claim reported and set up quicker. There are two ways a claim can be reported: directly to us or to the carrier. For each carrier, there is a designated email and phone number to report the claims directly to them. As we are always happy to assist, if the person reporting the claim feels more comfortable with our office submitting it for them, we have a designated email that comes direct to our team. Claims extras. One thing that is nice about being a part of our program is the carriers have designated a small group of adjusters per line of coverage. This has proven to be helpful because the adjusters get to know the insureds, and the insureds get a comfort level being able to deal with the same adjuster. For package policies, we have direct access to the carrier's claim systems, which gives us the ability to review claim notes, know if a claim is closed and what was paid out and to whom, and know who's handling the claim so that we can contact them and/or their supervisor with any questions. One of the things that has made us different is that we are given advance notice of most reservation of rights letters and all denial letters. This gives us the opportunity to review the policy for potential coverage other than where the carrier indicates there is no coverage. I'm happy to say that we've been very successful many times in finding coverage either partial or full. Claim services. Upon request, we can provide our brokers and insureds custom quarterly loss and trend analysis, including risk management recommendations, detailed claims reports, which include summaries of the claims, and quarterly claims review conference calls with the handling adjusters. Last but not least, all insureds are different. We will work with you and your client to offer personalized handling of each account with a system to support communication of any special account instructions between us and the carrier. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christine. This concludes today's presentation. I would like to thank all the presenters as well as everyone who joined us for today's presentation and hope you found this informative. We have quite a bit of questions that came in, and as I mentioned earlier, we'll reach out to you to discuss individually. We have also recorded this presentation and will be up on our website soon. Thanks again and have a great day.